Hey guys, it's Whitney, your family practice PA here, and today's video is one of the most common questions I get asked in practice, and actually was something that was a little bit unknown to me when I was first starting into chronic disease management. I first started in urgent care, and so didn't understand why we kept ordering this one specific lab, checking this level, and really until I started doing my research, had no idea how important it was. So the secret that makes our body work is crazy. This one little vitamin is so important to so many different functions of our body. So today we are going to break down that vitamin, and the answer to that is vitamin D. So vitamin D is now part of the orders I give. So when somebody comes in to see me for a routine physical, asking for routine labs, anything along those lines, I make sure I add a vitamin D level onto those labs. So check their cholesterol, I check their, for diabetes, check their blood counts, make sure they're not anemic. And one of the most important things now that I add is vitamin D. So we hear vitamin D all the time. Most people know we get it from sunlight. So most studies say that we need anywhere around at least 10 minutes of direct sunlight on bare skin for 2 to 3 times a week. But what we are realizing is, and studies have shown that over 50% of the world is deficient in vitamin D. So it can be that we don't live in a high sunshine area, might be more cloud coverage, might be where we have colder temperatures. During the wintertime, a large portion of our world, our country, it does not have that much sunshine. So we have, snow, all of these different weather things going on. And then another thing we've realized is people just, even though they're out in that direct sunlight, people with darker skin don't absorb it as well. There's a whole lot of different things that a lot of research is going into. Why are people more deficient in vitamin D? So one thing is you might be asking yourself is, well, who cares if they are? It's just vitamin D. Does it really affect that much? And it is incredible how much it affects. So vitamin D comes in 2 forms, vitamin D2 and vitamin D3. So vitamin D3 is vitamin D in its natural form. So I'm going to focus more on D3 right now. I have most of my patients, when I'm going to start them on a supplement, it's D3. And the one cool thing about vitamin D is it's not actually a vitamin, it is a prohormone. And a prohormone means that our body actually produces it. So with other things, we have to ingest it by food or possibly an injection or somehow get it into our body. Vitamin D our body produces on its own. We just sometimes don't have enough production of it, and that's where the deficiency comes into play. So vitamin D3, when we get a lab that comes in all different things, but most of the labs I use, the normal range is from 30 to 100. And it is crazy how many patients I see that are under 30. So I start them on a supplement. Like I said, vitamin D3, it can be 1,000 units a day, it can be 2,000 units a day, it comes in 5,000. There's a whole plethora of different levels, and I look at my patients, see where they're at, and see what symptoms they're having. So some of the main symptoms of vitamin D deficiency are fatigue, muscle aches, kind of this mental fog, just achy, all these different things. It can have some hair loss, where people are like, I just don't feel right. And so when I tell them that they have low vitamin D, they're like, well, there's got to be something else. There's no way. But vitamin D is so important. So what vitamin D, one of their biggest things is it lets our body absorb phosphorus. So with phosphorus, then we can absorb calcium, and the calcium deposits in our bones. So for bone health, it is crazy important. For muscle health, so vitamin D3 is also really important on weight loss. So weight loss, it helps us get rid of fat and then helps us build the muscle back stronger when we're putting it into the bones, into the muscles. So that's where you can get muscle ache if those bones and those muscles are not at a healthy place. So D3 helps us with phosphorus, which then in turn helps us absorb calcium, build up those muscles. What else it does is it helps us get rid of inflammation. So if we're not having healthy muscles, we're not having healthy bones, we reproduce more inflammation. And this is where the key comes into play of how important vitamin D3 can be. It can help us prevent cancer because we don't have as much inflammation in our body. It can help us prevent heart disease because we don't have that extra inflammation in our body. Helps us get rid of autoimmune diseases. All of these things are produced on inflammation. I'd love for you to go check out my video on how important an anti-inflammatory diet is. You can see that on my channel, where I break that down even more of how dangerous inflammation can be from dementia, arthritis, cancer, heart disease, what leads to high blood pressure. Vitamin D also helps us regulate our insulin levels, which then goes back to diabetes. So we get better glycemic control, so better glucose control. All of these things play into it, and that's why I'm going over all these on my channel, is how we can prevent these chronic diseases. If we can prevent high blood pressure, heart disease, diabetes, all these things, we're going to feel so much better. We're not going to have to take as many medications. We're not going to have as much danger of having a heart attack, a stroke, kidney disease, all these things that these horrible chronic diseases can affect. And it can be something so simple as vitamin D. So it's huge to make sure you go get your labs checked. Ask your medical provider to get that vitamin D3 or vitamin D level checked. And it can be so simple just to add a supplement. There's some over the counter. There's some on prescription. It's all kinds of different things, and everybody is treated differently. Everybody's body responds differently. This is why it's so important to take control of your own health. Go ask your medical provider for this information. There's power in knowing your numbers, what those levels are. One thing also on vitamin D is that people's LDL, so that's your bad cholesterol, is 129% higher. Those studies have shown they have a risk of 129% higher to have bad LDL if you're vitamin D deficient. If we're vitamin D, we're healthy, bones, muscles, vessels, everything are working like they're supposed to. We're getting rid of that inflammation. We can have helpful with getting that diet under control, because things that are high in vitamin D are also high in our good cholesterol. So you can just see all these things playing a part, playing together. Fatty fish, green leafy vegetables, extra virgin olive oil, our good lean proteins, our beans, all of those things are high in vitamin D level as well. So we're going to get it with our natural diet. We can get it by getting outside in the sunlight, which helps us all feel better, get moving more, get more cardiovascular exercise. And then for some of us, we need that supplement. A lot of us do. It is crazy how many patients I see that are low in vitamin D. And then I start them on it and they feel so much better. It is like a night and day difference. So I hope this video was informative for you. I hope you feel like you can go ask your medical provider. Let's check that level, see how important it is. You can see how it's helpful for our lungs, our cardiovascular, our skin. It's huge for our immune system. All these things that are just going to make you feel better overall and help us prevent these chronic diseases. As a PA in family medicine, there's nothing more important to me than preventative medicine. Getting your labs checked, getting your physical done, taking control of your health. Go and talk to your medical provider. I'm always here. Feel free to leave a comment on the below the video. I'm always checking it. I'll answer any questions that you have. Go talk to your own medical provider. If you got anything out of this video, hit the like button, and you can see tons of more content on my channel. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. I'm gonna have new videos coming out all the time, but can't wait to see you on the next video, and hope you have a good night.